Hey everyone, Keegan here, and today we're going to walk through some of the minor updates that Wheelhouse has put up in the last couple months. Again, similar to my first video, these are more minor and you may or may not have noticed them in the platform, so hopefully you find some of these details helpful. So the first place we're going to check out is actually the pricing calendar. There's been an update to the side panel on the right side here, so let me just show you. If I select a listing, we won't see the updates right away. I have to unfurl the daily rate section. But once I select dates to edit, we'll actually see that these options become available. The main updates to make note of here are we added the icons for dynamic and fixed rates here in the selections. The names were also changed to set new and adjust existing for the options here. And probably the biggest updates here for adjust existing, we added an option to remove custom rates for days with this button here. And we also added the ability to adjust existing rates by the day of week. So whereas before you could do day of week adjustments with the dynamic rate only, but now you can adjust existing with the day of week rule. Hey, future Keegan here. After rewatching the clip I just made and that you just saw, I realized I misspoke. You previously could only do the day of week rules with dynamic and fixed rates, so not just dynamic, like I said. And now we've added the ability to do the day of week rules with the adjust existing feature. So thanks. Just to show you what this looks like, let me select this weekend here. For this listing, I'll put in a 10% increase. Let me choose these dates for this listing, and I'll put in a custom rate for this property. And now what I can do is go ahead and select these dates, adjust existing, and I can select day of week, and I can adjust Friday differently than I do Saturday. So I can decrease Friday's rate and increase Saturday's rate, and it'll do that for me. Or if I don't want these custom rules, I can go ahead and click remove existing overrides for these days, and it'll completely get rid of them for me. The next update on the calendar here is the new pricing overview. And if you don't see this automatically as an option, you'll click the little display button here and then turn on pricing popover. So I'm going to turn that on and go back. And now when I hover over days, you'll notice the little triangle on the top right. If I actually hover over that triangle, it'll tell me a lot of helpful information here. At the top, it'll actually tell me what the current price is. It'll tell me how many days away this date is from the current date. And then in the second row there, it'll tell me for Monday, November 3rd of next year, what the current price is. And then the historical data at the bottom will also show. So it will showcase any booked data from the previous 4 years. So that is pretty helpful. If I go and actually find a listing that's been around for a bit, you'll see this view differently. So you can see the current date is booked, and it tells me for 2024, this year, what that rate was, the total amount for the reservation. So that's what you see in the parentheses there. Length of stay, it tells me that is the second of 3 total nights, and it'll tell me the lead time. So this listing or this day was booked. This reservation was booked 19 days ahead of time. Similarly to this pop overview here, we've also updated the pricing calendar UI to showcase the check-in and check-out dates for reservations. So this reservation is checking in on the 31st, checking out on the 3rd, so a total of 3 nights. And this little bubble will indicate the total nightly revenue without fees for the stay. This is a fake listing, so it's saying $0, but for your properties, it would show the correct amount there. Additionally, the headers for the dates at the top here have been updated with a new format. So it says the month, the day of week, and then the day of the month on each header. And then when you hover over the day, it'll tell you how many days before arrival we are to that date. The individual listing calendar has also been updated, some of these details. So if I go to an individual listing and then hop over to the individual calendar, I can turn on the pricing popover with the display button up here in the top right. Now, if I hover over a date, you can actually see this pricing popover show up here. The UI for the booked days, check-in and check-out, has been here for a bit, and the total for the reservations has also been here for a bit. But if you missed it, it's here on the individual calendar as well. The next set of updates can be accessed on the pricing calendar, but also pricing settings and metrics pages as well. I'll just do it from pricing settings to switch up the view a little bit and hop off the calendar. But basically, we've added a manager level for your team members for their access to the listings. So if I click the Teams button here, add or edit team members, and then show team columns, we now have this third option called managers, which gives you everything that an editor or viewer could do, which, just to remind you, a viewer can view and access listings but not change any settings. So if I assign myself, my personal account, as a viewer for this listing, then on my personal account, I could see the listings but not edit them. If I assigned myself as an editor for this listing, I could see the listings and edit any settings, so the base price, minimum price, etc., for the listings. The manager does that, but also allows the assigned user to be able to upgrade and downgrade those listings from a paid tier. So they can move listings to Pro Flat or Pro Flex, or downgrade them to the free tier as well. And also, managers can remove access for other teammates. So they can grant access for editor access, viewer access, manager access, and then also revoke that as well. So just to walk through what this could look like for your team is you would need to click the Add or Edit Team Members button, and then add a new team member. And reminder here, your teammate needs to have an existing Wheelhouse account before you can invite them. If you send this invite to their email, they will not receive it in their inbox. So they need to sign up with Wheelhouse with their email first. Then you invite them. Once you've invited them and they have accepted, you can then add them as a manager or editor from this screen here by, again, adding the showing teams columns here. And you can do that one by one like this by clicking. Or let's say I want Kegan to have access as a manager for all the listings. I could select all my Shroot Farms properties, click edit, and then make sure I select him as a manager for all the listings. Now for one update on the individual listing level. So if I open up an individual listing here, and I go to the in context chart under the settings page, in the top right, if I click the drop down that says 11 out of 11 and click add series, you'll see at the bottom we now have a market 25th to 75th percentile and market median series you can add. So I'm going to add both of these now. And what you'll see in green is a range for the market pricing for this listing. So this listing obviously is priced much, much higher than the surrounding market area, but this is going to be helpful for quick and easy access to market data on the individual listing level. You can still zoom in and check on particular dates, but this is pulling from our markets page and is set by bedroom count. So that's another detail. This is looking at all one bedrooms within this Scranton, Pennsylvania market for myself. If you want more specific comp set or market data, then you will want to use the sets tool up here in the top left to create your own sets, whether that's a larger market area for yourself, neighborhood data, or maybe very, very specific competitor sets. You will want to create those there and then assign your listings to that set to be able to view them. And then you can, in the top right here, make sure that you've selected the the set you want to compare to, and you can add those here too. So set median, set 25th to 75th, and those will show up in orange on the in context chart here. So if I remove some of these, you'll actually see the set pricing here down in orange. All right, the next updates have to do with currency options, the first of which will be on the performance page. So I'll head over here. In the top right, you'll notice a drop down where you can now select the currency you want to view the page in. So I can just type in the currency I want to see, and then the chart will update with the correct currency. You can also select your proper currencies for sets as well. So if I head over to the sets page and then under a individual comp set here, if I click the three dots and then click edit details, I can change the currency that that set is assigned to. So this is especially helpful for you folks that are in multiple markets and managing listings throughout the world. And the final update is with one of our settings, which is the day of week setting. You can view this on pricing settings or from the individual listing level, which I'll show you in a second. But what we've done is under the day of week rule-based option, you now have monthly, time-based, and date-specific options. So I can, for example, only in the summer months increase my Fridays and Saturdays if I'd like, and it will not impact the rest of my year. Or I could do something where after a certain number of time, maybe let's say outside of a year, my Thursday, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays all get increased. And that rule is time-based and will drop off over time. So we've built out the functionality for day of week. You can also view this on the individual listing level. So I go to this listing here, go to day of week, switch it to rule-based. You'll see that you have all three of those options. We still have the global option here where you can just do every Friday or every Saturday across your whole calendar. But you have the full flexibility of the rule set here. Thanks for watching, y'all. And another reminder here, if you want to access our changelog for updates, you can do so on your account in the bottom right, where you click the chat icon, click check out our latest updates here. And then you can scroll and check out write-ups for all these updates in depth and some quick how-tos on these as well. Thanks.